Okay, thanks for talking to me. I first want to ask you, what is the make and model of this car exactly?
Well, it's resembled on a 1932 Ford three-window coupe. Now, it's a glass fibre body, and the body's is been chopped, and I brought the body with this chop taken out of the roof. And the original car would have been another 6 inches higher on the glass line. I've always wanted to build a chopped and channeled hot rod since I was 18, watching American Graffiti. You know, it's like a teenage spur. Yeah, dream. I did a Ford Pop in 1990. I would have used to race at Santa Pod, and that was heavily chopped. But this is like the real McCoy. You know, a Ford Pop is like entry level, but not the real thing. So it's taken a lot of time and a lot of ideas, and I think growing up a bit, make sure that you do things right instead of rushing things, and and getting all your head together and how you want it to be.
I mean, if I can start, the first thing I've noticed is how low this car is. I don't think I've ever seen a car that low. Why is this?
Well, a lot of people build these cars, no disrespect, they build them you can build one of these cars out of parts you can get from suppliers from America. A lot of people here supply the parts, and you can build a textbook car, and it'll sit at a certain height. So basically, you're given the parts, you build the car, and it sits this height. And I thought, well, I don't want to be like everybody else. I want to be a little bit different. And the front axle is a Super Bell, and everybody has a spring on the top. Well, I've put my spring on the side to get the chassis even lower down, and on the back, my axle, where the chassis goes over the axle, I've put another chassis over the top of that chassis. I then cut out the original chassis so I can get the chassis lower over the axle. So we've got 6 inches out the roof, we've got 6 inches of the body going over the floor here, over the frame, and we've got the whole chassis. On the conventional hot rod, I've got about another 6 inches lower as well.
So do you race it regularly?
Yeah, raced it last year at Stratford and Santa Pod.
How did you do?
I did okay, but it was the first time it was out, and the engine was an engine that I brought from somebody, taking gospel that it's a good engine. I just put an inlet manifold and a Holly carb on and made my own exhausts. Over this Christmas time, I've actually stripped it right down. It's been bored out as far as it can go. I've balanced the crank, I've shot peened and hardened the rods. It's got everything inside it.
Oh, it's a brilliant car. I think we're probably just going to have a look at the inside now. Okay, just looking at all the controls, the gear stick, the clutch. Can you talk us through how it all works, please?
Okay, well here, this is part of nostalgia for me. This is a low car shifter. This was fitted to cars in the 60s and late 50s. It's the old style drag race shifter, tall, so you don't miss a gear. Like I said earlier, everything is homemade. I made the dashboard. I've just got enough instruments to do the job I need it to do. Like I say, it's 95% racing. That's the main clock up there. That's tells you when to come off the throttle in case I blow the engine up. Obviously mandatory, and as it's on the road, I need the speedo.
What's the thing? What's that there with the green?
Oh, that's that's my indicator stalk, right. And that little bit lights up and tells me I'm going that way and that way. I've got the pump on the engine, the water pump. I've got that manually controlled, so when I come to a standstill, switch the engine off, I can put the pump on, and it still circulates the water, stops the engine from getting a hot spot and cracking the heads. And the fan is also manually operated, so I can keep it, here we are, you see it stopped, and I can just keep it cool.
Can you imagine getting stiff? When you're racing it, how long does the race last? Do you feel stiff your legs after?
Well, I'm very glad it's only for a quarter of a mile. I won't want to do Indianapolis 500. They'd have to take me out with a tin opener, you know, be all cranked up like that and my legs aching. But no, it's just built for doing quarter of a mile races. So yeah, it's just adequate enough for that and no more.